Hey everyone, this is Sam, and I'm joined by Chris.
Hello.
And I'm joined by Flo.
Hi.
And together we are developing a game called Legal Limits, which is a two-player cooperative game where you control police cars in an open city environment, and you try to fight crime while not destroying the city yourself more than your criminals. Alright, so let's head right into the game and try a new campaign. Flo and Chris are going to be playing this game for this recording, and we're going to be talking a bit about the development process that went into this game. We're starting with a short tutorial about the basic features of the game. Chris actually worked on this tutorial a lot, so maybe you can talk a bit about the processes of how this works.
Yeah, actually, I'm right now playing on the left-hand side. You can see it moving the camera. While developing the UI, we mainly concentrated on developing a world space UI. So as you can see right now, the mission UI, where the radio icon is wobbling around, so that's indicating a new mission coming up. So I'm gonna open it by pressing the D-pad to the left side. So now you can see there is a domestic violence going on. I will just accept it by holding and pressing the A button. Yeah, now the actual tutorial starts, where we put on the siren because we are on a mission and we want that the traffic is reacting to our signal lights. Accelerating, right trigger button, braking on the left trigger button, and yeah, we're just gonna take the road to the domestic violence. So on the streets you can see the yellow indicating a line, so that's the indicated path to the domestic violence we're going.
Same as the user interface, we want to have everything within the game, so we decided for a navigation on the street and in comparison to a minimap. We already iterated other versions of that. First we tried a navigation with arrows at the crossings, so whenever you would get to a crossing you would see an arrow showing you the way, but we finally came up with this navigation.
Yeah, that's a pretty good point, because most games that have some sort of driving mechanic in an open world actually rely on minimaps and things like that for navigation. But we specifically decided to not use that in order to make our players remember the city more closely and get a more close relationship to the city by actually looking at the environment you're driving in rather than looking at the minimap all the time. But right now we are actually already in the next step of the tutorial, where we have to check parking tickets. So Legal Limits is basically this routine of different missions where you have active missions where you actually have to drive to destinations or chase criminals, and these passive missions like checking parking tickets, where you have to drive to parking cars, check their parking times. So you see the parking tickets of these two cars already expired, because the current time is displayed on the top of your car, and the time at which the parking ticket expires is displayed on top of the car you're currently checking. And the tutorial is also going to show us right now that there are also cars which have a valid parking ticket, and in this case you shouldn't be penalizing it. If you do so, you're actually gonna get a penalty yourself. If you like you saw right there, you lose $50. But if you do it right, you gain $150. Right. So the next thing that the tutorial is going to teach us is speeding violators. So just like in real life, as a police officer, you can also measure the speed of the cars in the city. And if you manage to find a speeding violator, it's your duty to pull them over and give them a ticket for speeding.
The speed measurement is done with a cone. You have to focus this cone on the cars, and the speed gets measured, like you just heard with a little click. We found a speeder. It marks the car, and we can now follow him and pull him over to give him a speeding ticket. So it was this car. It will drive to the right side, and we give him a speeding ticket. And that's another way how we can earn money in this game.
One thing about the speeding violator mechanic, I think Flo, you worked on that quite a lot.
Yeah.
We also iterated on that, and maybe you can talk about how the first system actually worked.
So in the first system we had also a cone where you focus the cars, and you would have been shown all the speeds that those cars drive, and you then could really direct the cone at a car, and you had to mark it yourself if it's going too false, if it was going too fast.
One thing that is not actually happening during the tutorial right now, but it can happen, is that these speeders actually start fleeing from you. So not all citizens are obedient like these two right now, where they actually stop for you, but some of them are also actually fleeing from you when you notice that they're speeding. Another mechanic in the game is drunken drivers. So in the city you can actually at all times find drunken drivers, which you have to recognize by the way they are driving. In a moment, we're gonna see the tutorial leading us to a drunken driver. And once you find one, you have to engage your signal lights again and your siren and get them to pull over, and you can give them a ticket as well, and you're gonna earn some money from that for your police station. So for instance, on the right side, we're gonna see this driver oscillate quite a bit because he's drunk, and Flo is gonna engage his siren now and make him pull over.
Mission complete.
Alright, now we actually got another mission incoming, which is a robbery, and Chris and Flo are gonna be cooperating on this mission now. And one more thing that is actually quite important to the game is the legal limits. Each mission has its legal limits, which means that you can deal a certain amount of damage to the city, or as long as you do less than the legal limits of this mission, this damage is not gonna be come back to you. You're gonna actually be allowed to do this damage.
I'm approaching the suspect.
Yeah,
I wait for backup.
I'm gonna catch him from the other side. There we go.
We found him and immediately took him.
Oh, come on.
So when a suspect is fleeing a scene like we see here, there's actually two possibilities to complete this mission, which is you either manage to stop him by doing pit maneuvers, or by simply blocking his way like they did right now. And the other possibility to complete this mission is to ram the suspect in order to disable his car and stop him this way. Okay, so this was the main tutorial of the game, and it explained pretty much the most important aspects of gameplay. And at this point, the two players can just simply try to earn as much money as possible during this shift by either checking parking tickets like they do right now, waiting for incoming missions, or by checking speeding violators or drunk drivers like we just saw in the tutorial. The goal in Legal Limits is actually to earn as much money for your police station, and then upgrade your cars, unlock new cars like we're gonna be seeing later, or unlocking new things during the campaign.
Oh, another mission. It's a burglary.
Let's get them.
All right.
At a pawn shop.
All right, I got him. Right side. Turn around.
There he is.
Yeah, we got him.
He didn't get away with his thievery.
Guess I'm gonna check some speeders at the bridge.
Do you need help for catching them, or let's do it together?
All right, so I'm gonna check them, and you're gonna pull him over.
Yeah. Oh, there's already a. I'm gonna position further ahead. Oh, we have a new mission.
It's a public nuisance. Guess you can do it alone.
I'll do it alone. So here you can see a cooperative aspect of the game. We can coordinate ourselves to get the most out of it, of our time, to earn some money for a police station.
So Flo is right now on the task on his own,
Yeah.
and I'm still checking speeders. Oh, I have a now. Yeah, that's the scenario Sam was talking about. We have a fleeing speeder right here.
I'm approaching to you. Gotcha.
Yeah, we got him. Good job.
So now let's get back to the main city part. See you there, loser. Okay, it's going as fast as I am.
Just wanted to say that I have my vehicle under control, but never mind.
So another thing about the game and obeying to the law is that you can actually do damage in the city. As you can see right here, I can drive over some lanterns and lamps, and they cause damage. And this gets reduced from your daily legal limits. And as Sam explained earlier, if you do too much damage, it gets cut off your paycheck at the end of the day.
And now we actually already reached the end of this shift, so both players have to return to their base, and then we're gonna see how much money they made today and how well they actually did during this shift.
There you are.
Alright. Oh, that was a lot of work today.
Yeah, good job. I think we did well. So let's have a look at the overview. Now we can see some missions we have done, the money we've earned. All get summed up. In the next overview we see the legal limits. You get a green stamp on it when you have not done too much damage, and as you can see on the right side, at my first mission, I have done too much damage, and it's gonna cost me $100 penalty at the end of the day. Now we can see how we performed compared to each other. The Officer 2 was Christoph, I think. He did a bit. Oh no, it was me actually.
Yeah,
I did the 100 minus, but I also earned more money.
Yeah, so all summed up, we earned $7,000 this shift.
Since this is a cooperative game, you actually share your money. And right now we're gonna see the outline for our next shift for tomorrow, which is gonna start at 16 o'clock. And is going to end at midnight, and we actually have daily objectives now, which are going to be these small little things that you can do during your shift, which are completely optional, but you're going to get a small bonus for your income if you actually manage to do these things. Like today we're gonna have to check 8 parking tickets, or drift for 500 meters, or find 2 speeding violators. And now we can actually spend our money that we earned in the last shift by either buying new cars, like we see here. There's different cars that you can upgrade to, and you can actually also upgrade the cars you have already bought. Right now we don't have enough money to buy one of the new cars, but we can upgrade our existing cars.
I certainly do not need better brakes. I think I will go for the engine upgrade.
Yeah, go for full horsepower.
The different cars you can unlock have different purposes. For instance, you can take the small car and it will do better maneuvers in confined areas where you have to navigate through cars. The normal police car is the basic car you can use for everyday purposes. You can also buy an SUV. This one is especially good for following and stopping fleeing robbers or speeding violators or whatever to destroy these cars. And also the Lamborghini, the sports car, is also very good for stopping other cars.
As you already mentioned, you can upgrade your vehicles, and also all vehicles have different parameters and types of physics, so that could be a good point to talk a little bit about the custom car physics we implemented. I think Sam, you did a lot of work there, so maybe you can tell us a bit about that.
Yeah, sure. Why don't we just start the next shift, and we're gonna be talking about the car physics a bit while you guys show us a bit more about the game.
I just spent the rest of it. Let's do it.
Me too.
Alright, so the car physics for this game is actually implemented completely from scratch. So the main reason why we did this is because we wanted to focus on the physics feeling right, rather than being completely physically accurate like they would be in real life. And of course there's a lot of rules applied from real physics, but I tweaked them to the point where they should actually feel right and feel enjoyable, rather than being completely accurate. And I think the most important feature for all these kinds of games, which are focused on fun rather than being completely accurate, is the handbrake, which these two guys are actually using quite heavily right now, which is used for drifting, of course, and for getting around corners quite smoothly and fast. And like we talked about the daily objectives earlier, one of them, the daily objectives right now, is to drift for 500 meters. And as you can see, the progress of these objectives is displayed with this world 3D UI, which is coherent with our other UI elements for missions or stuff like that.
Ching! I just completed the drifting objective.
Perfect.
Nice.
Money.
Okay, I'm gonna go on with the speeding tickets.
Nice, I will just control parking tickets.
The bridge. Yeah. Go for it.
Let's try to get more money than the last shift. I really want the Lamborghini.
Well, then you should not just waste everything for upgrading your crappy car.
Probably.
Oh, come on. What is it? Domestic violence. I'm gonna leave you with that.
Okay. Let's be there fast. Hopefully nobody gets hurt. And hopefully nobody crashes into me. Oh.
into you.
Classic cop.
It's always the other's fault.
Yeah, as you can probably see now, especially on the left-hand side, my side, we are at the sunset. So it's also a day and night circle. So just a few minutes. It will shift to night. Yeah, as you now could see, the lanterns switched on. So we also focused to get a good flare and a good feeling.
We better
Yeah, and
turn
you
up
guys
our
can-
lights.
Yeah, you guys can actually turn on your lights with the left thumbstick.
Yeah.
Let's go over.
Extremely important. Yeah. Speaking of headlights, you can actually also turn on your indicators with the right and left bumpers. Also, extremely important feature. But those are just some little things that we included, since this is some sort of a simulation.
Okay, he's on my side of the city. I have to cross the bridge. Yes.
Are you on the island? Okay,
Yeah.
I'm on my way.
I just sent you assistance call.
I got it. I have the path to you. So this is another feature of the navigation system. You can call for assistant, and the other player will get a path to you. I currently have a blue path to Chris, so I can find where he is. But you still have to look around a bit. Oh, there he is.
So how are we doing with the daily objectives? Okay,
We need some speeders.
yeah.
I will go on the bridge and help.
This one is speeding. Yes.
Okay. Now we're
So
at
just one left.
Now we're at a different location at the farm area. It's outside of the city. Nice.
Yeah, perfect. So as you can see now, we finished all our daily objectives. So we're gonna get a decent bonus on our money at the end of the shift. Oh, there's another mission going on. It's burglary.
You need
Think-
help, or
I'm gonna check it out, and if I need help, I'm gonna call you.
okay? Shift is over anyway. I'll just help you to finish it up. Can you send me?
Yeah, there you go. It's going to the center.
Ah, there is the path.
I think I just got him. Yeah. There we go.
Okay. Now we have completed the last mission of the day, and we have to get back to our station, as we did last day.
Let's see how we did.
Oh, I did a lot of damage this day.
Oh my god, Flo, come on.
Maybe I shouldn't drink before work.
Oh.
That was just a joke. I didn't drink.
If you guys didn't know it before, Flo is very, very funny. Yeah.
Thanks a lot. Glad to hear
Oh,
that.
it is. About
Wow.
12k. Pretty good.
Okay, but as we can see, we don't have quite enough money to buy something cool as a Lamborghini right now. But since we are developers, of course, we know some tricks, and Flo is gonna press some buttons now in order
Magic
to
buttons.
magic buttons in order to increase his
Oh my
actual
God.
budget.
What is
And for
happening
some
here?
reason, he can buy the Lamborghini right now.
You. Okay, you. I have to earn us more money. I will
You know what
just-
happens to cheaters?
They get banned.
Yes, they do.
Yeah, the Lamborghini upgrades are very costly.
Engine. Come on, more engine.
You can see that the upgrades get more expensive for the different cars. Also, some cars can buy upgrades, other cars cannot. For instance, the SUV can buy a reinforced chassis and upgrade it more often. This helps doing more damage to fleeing cars.
Alright, so before we wrap up this video, let's have a look at how the SUV and the Lamborghini actually perform, which are actually things that you should only get later in the game, but let's have a quick look.
So the SUV, as you can see, is very heavy and has a lot more power. You can just push around cars to drive through, which you should not do because it's bad.
Well, in certain situations, you're actually forced to do it, right?
Yeah.
So if there's just so much traffic, I mean, what can you do other than just ram right through it? Yeah.
I'm on it because I'm pretty fast. So I'm gonna do this domestic violence.
That's your thing. I'll just complete the airtime and then maybe find a drunk cop.
And the Lamborghini is just insanely fast and okay, yeah. Just
That's actually also something that we didn't mention yet. You can fall into the water and you're gonna be paying a quite high bill for that. So when you respawn, you're actually having to pay the repair costs and salvaging costs of actually driving into the water.
yeah, actually I think that's it about the main features right now, right?
Yeah. So maybe let's just get back to the main menu and wrap this thing up.
We just lost all our damage we made because we didn't save. How unfortunate.
Yeah. Alright, so that's a quick look into Legal Limits. I hope you liked this.
Thanks for watching.
Yeah, definitely. And if you would like to hear more about this game and get future updates, feel free to follow us on our social media platforms. And we hope to see you soon. Thanks.